Map number 4 is going to be a pretty big one. We have Frost coming up next. And so far, we had really strong games between the two of them. Scarlett talking a little bit about game number 3. I thought she was a little bit ahead after the initial attack where she lost the queen, where she killed this many Zerglings. And found herself very surprised that she fell farther and farther behind in the game. Now it's time for a different map though, a very huge map. We had a lot of 2-player maps so far, and now it's time for Frost. Going into the game right away, and we have currently at the bottom right of the map in red for Team ASUS, it is Scarlett! Down 1 game in the series so far, and starting now to the bottom left on the map, her opponent is the Korean player for Evil Genius, it is Jaedong! And a pretty huge map there, Grubby, and I think we are probably going to see them both going into a 15 hatch once again, something that they both showcased in 2 of the 3 matches that we saw so far.
Yeah, this is a very likely start to this game. Something different happened here in Life versus Scarlett. The 3rd map of the series, where Scarlett managed to win 3-0, where Life opened up with a 10 spawning pool and a 10 gas, and Scarlett went for a 15 hatchery and a 14 spawning pool right after that. Not being too greedy, so she kind of felt that coming, so she played it safe there. We will see now if this is her methodology on this map. Is she gonna not squeeze in a single drone after that hatchery? Let's see. Hatchery goes up. Is the next thing gonna be a drone? Yes, it is. So now we know that against Life, she intended to be extra safe there with without any drones before that spawning pool. And that makes her victory against Life seem a little bit less based on luck. Not that it was, but even less so, and more so even on correct evaluation of the opponent.
Exactly, she was definitely playing not only the matchup but also the opponent there, and having a look at what exactly Life was doing in the games before. So we can actually predict that she is also going to try to adapt to what Jaedong is doing. Jaedong played some ZVZs at the ASUS ROG tournament so far, so she will definitely have looked at all of those games, trying to get a bit of an idea what's happening here, how she can counter her opponent. Didn't have as much time, of course, to prepare for those games, since it was the last semi-final that Jaedong was playing there, but at least probably giving a quick glance towards what's going on, especially since one of her teammates played against Jaedong in the group stage.
Yeah. Now, I'm getting a little bit weirded out here by the fact that they're both playing the same thing. Is one of them telepathic and is choosing to mirror all the moves from the opponent? Everything is the same in all 4 series. I mean, all 4 games so far, they have opened the same way. It's very interesting.
A very standard style how to open things up here, and they are very similar in general how they start their matches, and so. On a big map like this, if you decide to go into a 15 hatch opening, I'm not surprised that we see in the beginning at least very huge similarities, but roughly at the 6-minute mark I would expect them to still have a few differences there. It comes down to the scouting. Where do you send your first overlord? Do you see your opponent right away? How do you react to what you scout? Do you maybe even get a Zergling scout in, which Jaedong is currently trying to accomplish? Just sending them over once again to have a quick poke into the main base, and these small things are then gonna start to change their match a bit.
Yeah, and trying to stop those Zerglings from getting in, but that Zergling will get in and will start to get a very valuable scout as it sees the Baneling nest for Scarlett and gets out of there. Now, Scarlett has an option. She can choose to cancel the Baneling nest and go for a Roach Warren. A little bit of a crazy move and not even necessarily that good, but it would be a mind game.
Yeah, it would be a mind game, but one of the mind games that you don't really want to go for. If your opponent has a Baneling nest, you want to be safe. You want to have your own Baneling nest just in case. You can get 2 Banelings and play defensive, and as soon as you see the opponent moving out, you just get an additional amount of Banelings if need be. But for now, she is in a situation where Jaedong is trying to get the fast attack out. He's the one who starts the lair a little bit faster here at the bottom left now. Also a Spine Crawler for him, just trying to be safe. No aggression. And think about what we saw in the games before. Jaedong always the player who got the Zerglings in early and tried to apply pressure, and now he's changing things up quite a bit. Scarlett the one who also gets the extra gas and heads into the lair attack, but Jaedong is a little bit faster.
Yeah, and I find it very very interesting that Jaedong is moving closer and closer to the extreme end of the greedy spectrum. Last game he at least made 10 speedlings and ran in and killed the queen while making that lair and trying to mask his motives. Now no such illusions are being created. He's just going for lair almost as fast as humanly possible, and is just trying to get a quick spire out. Scarlett also a pretty quick lair, but the difference is Jaedong got confirmation twice. He got scouting info into the main base of Scarlett twice, so he knows it's a mirror.
He waits a couple of seconds there before he starts his own Spire, but he's once more ahead with the tech. But it's really just marginal. I don't think that it's going to matter too much. It's not this 10-second lead that we saw in a few of the games where a player can really capitalize on this advantage. This time they're nearly with the same timing here on the Spire attack. And you're right, Jaedong is definitely trying to play a little bit more greedy every single game so far, but that also makes it quite dangerous. He's a player who can just switch things up right away and go into an early pool in one of the next few games immediately. And now we have them with the same timing for the third phase too. So still a very similar style, but Jaedong deciding that it's actually time to at least apply a little bit of pressure and move out with the Zerglings, which Scarlett, by the way, does too.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, is Scarlett going to be the one that eventually is going to try this greedy early tech play, going to a lair from Jaedong? But hold your thoughts. Right now, these banelings are starting to maneuver against each other, and there goes down one, and the second one will go down as well. Nice move there by Scarlett, but she's going to lose one of her own banelings.
Yeah, both of them really doing a good job with the Zergling baneling control here. And this is just so difficult to accomplish. You have to be so careful. We saw that in game number 1 and in game number 2. One misstep and you might just lose the number of Zerglings that you need to defend your third. And this is what it's all about. Once more, armor upgrade coming in a little bit faster for Jaedong. Scarlett immediately countering with her own upgrade. In terms of harvesters, we have very similar amounts. Just a slight advantage for Jaedong here. And it's gonna be that Mutalisk versus Mutalisk battle once again. Not a lot of Roach Wars going on, which is still something that we see a lot in Korean ZVZ and actually in international ZVZ as well. It's more about the Mutalisk between the two of them.
Yeah, it's just the way that their styles match up, and they're both extremely good at it. And look at that, 94 against 94 supply. This is the measure to which they are equal in skill and in their style as well. Scarlett trying to move across the top of the map now. Even though they're both at the bottom of the map, we are seeing a full use of the map here in play with the Zerglings veering across the top of the map. Now starting to move into this third. And I remember there was a baneling for Jaedong. Is he going to try and bring that about to bear upon these Zerglings?
Well, the space is under a lot of pressure. Scarlett is trying to take that out, at least taking down the drones. And this is going to make sure that the mining in gas is going to be limited for Jaedong for just a little bit. The amounts of Mutalisks still very, very similar here, and both of them just with the same goal here. Protect the third, protect your own gas income, while at the same time apply pressure, try to snipe the drones, and if you're lucky, snipe eventually one of the gases, one of the simulators here, or
maybe a queen or something.
A queen, maybe even the hatch.
Jaedong moving across with his Zerglings here. Scarlett is leading in the drone count by 6. Do we see any drones in production? Just 1 from Jaedong and 3 more for Scarlett. She's also leading in the supply, so she's got the tiniest advantage whatsoever, and it can just slip away at any time if she makes one false move.
Yeah, and talking about moves here, we have 2 banelings moving into... Wow, that was a quick reaction here by Jaedong. Oh my god. The banelings moving in from the side, from an angle that he wouldn't really expect, and he saw it immediately and pulled those drones away. That it could have been such a great move by Scarlett. It could have been devastating to Jaedong if he doesn't see it coming.
Baneling intrusion detected, pool drones. It was a very quick reaction there. Now Scarlett trying to move into the main base with the Zerglings. Is there anything for Jaedong to defend nearby? How many drones are these Zerglings going to be killing? There is a queen there, but she's starting to work on the drones. One drone goes down, second one goes down.
Nice
third one,
there.
Fourth, maybe?
Really well done so far. 8 harvesters in total killed by Scarlett. Good job here. 10 in total now. Even sniping a few with the Mutalisks that were moving in at the third base. So really good moves by her. But the overall supply is once again the same.
Yeah, it's all Jaedong's Zerglings that are giving him the supply, whereas she's ahead in 10 drones. So if she can stay alive for a little bit longer, the advantage she has economically is going to continue to increase. But as of right now, Jaedong has a bigger army. Does Scarlett have any banelings? No, she doesn't. So she's got to play very smart and defensively here. And watch out for a big Zergling attack into her main base if the Mutalisks keep each other busy.
Yeah, a few Zerglings are just waiting for that to happen on the other hand. And there they are. Ling versus Ling. The queen is still there. So this is just a dance between the two of them looking for openings. And this is crazy. And Scarlett is making the first big move here. She's going into a 4th base.
There's
Not scouted.
That's right. That's right. Not yet, but
Well,
there we
exactly.
go. Jaedong gonna be scouting it very, very soon with that
Spider
circle.
senses are tingling. He
Yeah.
saw those banelings coming and reacted like a panther, and now the fourth goes up for Scarlett, and immediately one Ling trying to find out what's going on. Even another one seeing that Zergling run by. Very, very good map presence by Jaedong. Really well how he's doing this. Zerglings everywhere, and it's just going down on those paths that Scarlett's units could take.
So how many drones is she going to kill this time? Will she get a queen as well? She'll lose her fourth, but that's kind of a lightning rod at this point. Getting a lot of drones there, killing a queen, and also Zerglings here in the natural. Scarlett is taking little by little advantage. Is she going to take down another queen? Yes, she is!
He's currently taking a page out of Jaedong's book in game number 2, killing additional 5 harvesters and the double queen there. Really good moves. Had to cancel that fourth base, building it once again. Adding another spine caller back at home just because she wants to be careful against run by attempts by her opponent. 40 against 41 Mutalists. That's what we're seeing right now. And they are fighting as we speak. There are no queens to lend their strength to this. This is going to get a little bit messy here. But Scarlett getting the better end of the trade. 28 Mutalists against 18. She's going to win that battle in a landslide.
I don't really understand what happened there. Jaedong had the better upgrades for a while. He had 1-1 against 0-1, but somehow something she did with her movement, or maybe she had a few more Mutalists present, made her win that Mutalist fight. Jaedong, however, as it started, he had 50 Zerglings more, and he's starting to use that now. Can he grab an advantage back into this game? She was leading in the drones, now she's 44 against 46. So Jaedong is doing what he needs to do to try and get back into this.
Yeah,
however, look at the Mutalisk count.
Exactly. She's doubling his Mutalisk amount now, 15 to 30, and that is just brutal. Mutalisks are the expensive units here. Drones and Zerglings, the only thing where it's really getting a little bit iffy is that you need the lava to really make that happen. And both of them have good injects, but the Mutalisk, that's where it's at. And now we have the Spore Crawlers building for Jaedong because he realizes he needs some defense there. It might already be too late. Scarlett Stutter stepping her way to victory here, taking down even more of the Mutalists. Only 8 left for Jaedong against 26. He's dropping in supply. She could fight the Spore Crawlers here too, and once the third base is eliminated, it's going to be game GG, and Jaedong loses the 4th game. Scarlett tying the series up once more.